This week, I decided to fly halfway across the earth to play some 15k tournaments in Cape Town, South Africa. Now, as you saw last week, I made the main draw in Monastir, Tunisia, and we flew from Tunisia all the way to Cape Town. Now, that journey started on Friday at 11 o'clock, and qualifying was to start on the Sunday morning. The journey took us over 30 hours, and I ended up not getting any sleep on the overnight layover. So I ended up arriving in Cape Town totally destroyed, but I was determined to give qualifying a chance. Let's see if I could overcome my fatigue this week and see if I could qualify for another 15k event. And on the morning of the match, first things started with breakfast. But in the lift, it really hit me how tired I was. So tired. Oh, gotta get it done today. Today's more about the mental and the physical, not about tennis. And when we got to the club for my pre-match hit with my friend James, I knew I was going to be in some serious trouble in this match. Legs felt like cement, couldn't think straight, and really wanted to go to bed. But nevertheless, I was up against Denzel Sitso in the first round of qualifying, the #1 player in Botswana. He's also played multiple Davis Cup matches with a winning record, so a very strong player in the first round of qualies that I'm going to have to overcome with some serious fatigue. So going straight into this match, started off serving. I really wanted to be as aggressive as possible. Now, this is giving me flashbacks to the video of me playing in Bali with food poisoning. Now, I got a lot of comments in that video saying how amazingly I played because I played loose, and I kind of having flashbacks of that match because that's kind of exactly how I played here. Just super loose, super aggressive, really wanted this match to kind of go as fast as possible. First few games, I kind of felt okay, just a little bit tired, this and that, and I went 2-love up. I felt pretty positive about this match. You know, I was really hitting the ball pretty decently. Obviously, I hadn't had that much time to practice on these courts. The balls they were using, I think Wilson US Opens, really flew through the air, so the courts were pretty quick, which actually favours my style and you know, how I like to play. But definitely, the more these games went on, the more I began to, let's just say, physically struggle. Now, that might not be indicated in the scoreline, but internally my body's screaming at me here to stop at every available opportunity. However, I really wanted to see out this match. I felt that I could win, of course. Denzel was a very solid player, made a lot of balls, made it tricky for me, but I just think I had the weapons, and the weapons were working to really put him under some pressure. And as you can see here, 4-love up, especially on these service games, just hitting my backhand really well up the line, which was working, and pressing the net as much as possible, really looking to just do some damage. However, here at 4-love 40-15, I'm feeling like I'm kind of in the driving seat. Everything's going pretty decently, playing some pretty good tennis actually for how much sleep I've had in the last few days and how much I've travelled. So I thought actually it's gonna kind of end up okay. It's not so bad. With backhands like that, things were looking up. However, in this game here, I realised I'm actually a lot more tired than I'd care to admit, and the fatigue really just began to hit me right here, and I think that kind of showed in my game. I began to get a little bit more passive rather than aggressive. I kind of gave him a couple of service games. I didn't really try so much on the return because I knew it's more important just to win my service games, and from here it was just a battle of survival. Saving 2 break points here to go back to juice on my service game, and set point #1, going with a serve out wide and back behind combo, taking the first set, which I was pretty happy with. And I just think, okay, this set, really got to just make sure I stay on top of him here. He's going to raise his level for sure. I think he could sense that I was beginning to fatigue a little bit, so almost he had that extra motivation to start putting more balls in court, and I knew that I'd be in a pretty tricky scenario if I didn't really kind of make sure that I raise my level and keep up the consistency and keep up the pressure at the beginning of this set. And just as a side note, for anyone watching this video that's going to go in the comments and type, "Oh, Felix, why did you travel so late to the tournament?" One little thing about these ITF events is that the scheduling is pretty tough. So obviously a few weeks beforehand, before the prices of these fights get crazy, I decided to book the flight on a Friday, meaning that I gave myself the chance before in Monastir to go all the way to the quarterfinals of singles. Now, had I not booked the flight, it would have been crazily expensive, and had I booked it earlier, I would have risked not being able to play, as I could still potentially be in the singles in Monastir. Which kind of leads you to the position we're in here, where I kind of travelled at the last minute because it made it financially affordable, and it also meant that I gave myself the chance in Monastir. But it kind of meant sacrificing the singles this week. Now I decided to play because I thought, why not just give it a go? If I feel really bad, then I'll stop. And so far, upper set, on serve, it wasn't looking that bad. And a couple break points here at 2-all are a very positive start to this second set. Really trying to hustle as much as possible. He misses the drop shot, get the break, and from here it's all about closing it out. And in this game here at Juice, really just willing to win these two games as easily as possible. Just wanted to kind of get off the court at this point. You can see me here just pressing the net, really just trying to keep these points as short as possible. Crazy sky hook point at Juice to set up the first match point. And I hit the first round 6-1, 6-3. Yes guys, just about to go on for my second round qualies, if I'm honest. I don't feel too good. Probably just play one set and then retire, if I'm honest. I really don't want to ruin myself or injure myself like I did in Bali. Yeah, I'm going to go see what I can do, but obviously frustrating, and next time lesson learned to not play after 15 hours of flying. So my opponent for round 2 was to be Abraham Asaba, a 27-year-old player with a ranking of around 1700 for singles, top 600 for doubles with a career high of 435. And ironically, I actually played him when I had a chest infection in Bali. Once again, I seem to be in some really difficult physical situations. However, I decided to give it a go. I think at the start of this match, I started off pretty strong, winning my first service game. Now his biggest weapon is for sure his serve. And with me having a bit of a headache, it kind of felt like my reactions were delayed. Like I wasn't really seeing it the same way that I usually would. You know, I was just really struggling to put those returns in, you know, a tough spot. And as you can see here, going one game all, I kind of knew, look, I've just got to try and break him and not get broken if I have any chance of winning this match. I think my kind of relaxed attitude definitely helped me a little bit. But I think overall it allowed him to, you know, potentially win a few points where I could have been a little bit more clinical. You know, as you can see here, that forehand, the movement to that backhand on a game point to me, you know, obviously getting the cop out and getting a little bit lucky, but you can tell that I'm not even at like 60% of where I'm at, nearly falling over there. My cameraman behind the camera, my cousin, was definitely telling me to stop playing, but I didn't want to give in. I wanted to see what I can do, maybe win this first set and somehow win a tiebreak. I definitely think that sometimes I have a little bit too much of a love of winning and a love of the game, and in these moments I almost need to just call it a day and just make sure that I'm not kind of overdoing it and pushing myself too hard to sacrifice the whole 2 weeks here basically. But with that being said, I get broken, but I go 40-15 up in this service game with some chance to break, and I felt a little bit of a kind of a energy boost here. You know, obviously breaking's, you know, super motivating, and you know, on this service game again, getting a game point, and again, just it really pains me almost to see me in this kind of phase where I'm just not really being as clinical as I usually would be. Again, got to come in off that forehand, but I get rewarded, go 4-3 up in this first set, and then it goes 4-all, and right here, I think I genuinely felt like I just wanted to go to bed, or I was going to be sick, one of the two. And at this moment, I kind of decided if I lose this set, it's going to be over pretty quickly for me. And that is kind of what's beginning to happen. You can see my opponent getting a break here, and it's going all a little bit downhill, which is extremely frustrating, having travelled so far with such high expectations. I really feel over the last months I've been able to improve my game, but I think definitely a frustrating way to start this last tournament block of the year. Now with that being said, obviously a very disappointing singles result, but that did give me the opportunity to focus on the doubles. Now next week I'm going to be showing you how my doubles campaign went with my friend James. We played some crazy good doubles in the past, including winning some matches already this year together, and let's just say we had a pretty special run. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.